You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, this is Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com, and oh my God, ouch, I burned myself. The podcast is so hot, I burned myself on the podcast. Remember, always listen to the podcast. Don't touch the podcast. Also, we don't want you touching the podcast. Keep your little nasty fingers off the podcast. We don't want fingerprints on it. Anyway, guys, and the FBI is probably going to test for fingerprints on that as well. So don't keep the podcast in your home. I don't know where I'm going with this. This is what we do. We improv the front every time, and you just get what you get. Remember, the podcast is free, so you don't have to complain about it. Oh, yeah, we do. I forget what the front end of the podcast is called, but people always like to see whatever the hell gets improv. And sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it kills. Sometimes it doesn't. Either way, hopefully it's still funny. And if not, well, tune in tomorrow. There'll be a funnier one. Anyway, guys, you know the drill. For further share your friends, neighbors, relatives, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss. See the big LinkedIn newsletter, the big LinkedIn 122,000 member group over there as well. Today, we have an amazing gentleman on the show with us today. He's going to be talking about his company, what he does, how he built it, and all that good stuff. Brent Weinmann of Vitakraft Sunseed is on the show with us today, and he'll be talking to us about his amazing journey, life, and everything he's done. He was a finance major who tended to find friends in the arts, giving him a unique perspective as he worked his way through college. After graduating from Bowling Green State University, wasn't there a massacre at Bowling Green? I don't know. And his finance degree in 1985, Brent went to work for a company called Sunseed, which created food products for birds and small animals. He quickly rose in the ranks from production labor to national sales manager. Then in 2001, they bought the Sunseed, and the company began working with the German pet food company Vitakraft. In 2008, Brent sold Sunseed to Vitakraft, resulting in a new company, Vitakraft Sunseed, of which Brent is still president to this day. Welcome to the show, Brent. How are you?
Great, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Awesome sauce. It's great to have you as well. So give us your .com so people can find you on the interwebs.
Yeah, it's Vitakraft, funseed.com, or you can just go to Vitakraft.com as well.
There you go. So let's talk a little bit about your journey and what got you here. You know, I imagine Vitakraft Sunseed is a pretty successful company. What do you guys do in revenue?
What do we do?
What do you guys do in revenue?
Globally, we're about a 400 million euro company.
Sauce.
Domestically, we will be pushing 50 billion in the next 2 years.
Damn, that is nice. So tell us about your background story. How did you get into the Sunseed business?
Yeah, well, I didn't grow up saying, gee, I want to run a bird. It just sort of happened. My girlfriend at the time, now my wife, we met 30 years, 35 years plus, worked on a horse farm. A horse farm owner, also starting a small in the pet industry called Sunseed Company. And he was a pet store owner, a backyard engineer, and teamed up with a local farmer, and they started the Baxville farm in a small cement mixer and blending it together. And about 2 years later, I joined them and the production. And then as the company grew, he bought out his owner and made me front. Sales, marketing.
That's pretty freaking awesome. That's awesome. So I guess, you fall in love with the business you're in, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, it's been a great ride. It's pushing 36 years now. I love the people I work with. I love, a lot of friends in the industry. It's been a lot of fun.
As you purchased Sunseed, and then your guys are purchased by Vitakraft, you remained as president throughout that whole tenure. How'd that come about, and how'd you make sure that happened so you always stayed at the top there?
Yeah, well, the purchase came up because being, sort of right-hand man to the former owner, I knew he was entertaining some bids to sell the company. When the last one fell through, I said, if I could put together, a financing package, would you be willing to sell it for me? That.
Yeah.
He basically co-signed co-signed the loan, and away we went. And of course, that happened to be 2001. All that happened back then, the economy sort of tanked about a month after I signed on the dotted line with the highly leveraged buyout. So,
Oh, wow.
it was a struggle. We made it through. Cut costs where we go. I'm proud to say we never had to lay anybody off.
That's awesome.
And at that time, we began doing some private label packaging for this German company called Vitakraft. They came over to meet me, I think it was probably 2007. I expected just a regular, plant tour and, hey, let's put some business plans together for the coming year. They said, hey, what would you think if we bought your company? At that time, I was still quite a bit in debt, and they came with a pretty nice offer. And they said, part of the deal is you have to sign a 5-year contract and you will run it. And that was 2008, so I guess we're, 14 years into a 5-year contract.
Wow. That's pretty good. Well, then that means you're doing a good job, evidently, right?
Yeah, I think it's ups and downs, but I think generally they're pretty.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's to be expected in business. It's not always straight up unless you're, I don't know, Amazon or Elon Musk or something. I don't know. But even then, I think they've seen downtimes. So, so that's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, being able to, never have to lay anyone off and everything else. So as you guys did the merger of Vitakraft and Sunseed, how did that change the landscape of the business, and where are you guys at today?
Yeah, pretty dramatically. We have more than tripled the business since we joined forces.
Wow.
This is for people who are really interested in pets. It might be interesting. But our company, Sunseed, was more making foods, like rabbit pellets, like that. Vitakraft, we're making treats for small animals and birds.
Mm-hmm.
The mix complemented each other. Vitakraft at the time was selling more into the big box retailers, and we were selling more into the independent, mom and pop type stores. So it was a really good mix. We filled a lot of voids for each other. And as we put this together, we were able to do more production for Vitakraft foods, which they were sort of limited on because of the cost of import. And it's really opened up a lot of interesting avenues for us.
The pet business is pretty interesting. Years ago, when we had several companies, I told I gotten 2 dogs, and I was like, holy crap. I mean, there's a lot of money in this business. I mean, those plastic Kongs are like $10-15 a pop. And I'm like, injection molded plastic, $10 to $15. What the heck? And over time, I've seen the food portion of dog food and dog toys, and like I used to joke with my friends. I'm like, yeah, it's cheaper than owning kids. It's definitely a lot cheaper to feed them and everything else. But it has gotten more expensive. I don't know what happened with the bone business, the bone chews that I get for my dogs, the chewy tendons. Those things are like gold, evidently now.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you've seen the deer antlers that are out there.
Yeah.
$26 for a couple antler about that big.
Yeah. And I said to my business partner, I go, we need to get in that business because it seems like it's going places, and definitely, especially with what was it, coronavirus. I think more people got pets during coronavirus than ever before.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Looking at almost 70% of the U.S. population.
Wow.
With some type of pet, whether it's a bearded dragon or a black lab.
Yeah.
Huge growth in the last 2 years.
Yep. Bearded Dragon is my other podcast that I do on the side. So give us a rundown. What products do you guys sell at Vitakraft US?
Yeah, well, we have about 450 products in our lineup. A combination of brands, both Sunseed, Vitakraft brand. We also do some private label business as well. But we used to say everything from parents to parents, and today we've expanded into cats and dogs. Bringing treats from our parent company in Europe.
Wow. So you guys delve into all that. That's some good branding to take and do. And then can you share your passion for Vitakraft and how it impacts the business? How does the president's, passion for what you guys do?
Yeah. I'm passionate about a few parts of the business. I have to say, first and foremost, it's about connecting with the employees. I just really enjoy that part of the business. It can be frustrating, don't get me wrong, but I just enjoy the camaraderie. I'm also a team player, and that sort of hope. on the other side, a pet owner, right? I've had dogs growing up. I've had hamsters and gerbils growing up. I've had a parrot. We now have 3 horses, a dog, 3 cats, chickens. It's just, I found great joy in that, as did my wife and son. So, a lot of fun.
Pets make the world go round. I mean, I've had 4 dogs now, and I can't ever imagine living without dogs. Although I'm pretty sure my Siberian Huskies can imagine living without me.
Yeah, it's funny how that
yeah, they're escape artist dogs. They're constantly like, yeah, we don't want to be here anymore. We're going. We're out of here.
Yeah.
And they go off and do their own thing, and then I just sit there and go, well, we got to go find them.
Yeah. I also have a black mouth cur, which I don't know if you're familiar with that. A hunting dog.
Oh, yeah.
And I live on a nice piece of property, and she just runs and, chases squirrels, groundhogs, whatever, 6 hours nonstop. It's basically for a while.
I wish I had that kind of energy at my age.
I wish I had 10% of that.
Yeah. I always look at my Siberian Huskies because they go on those zoomies every day. They just start running around like they've had too much crack or meth or something. And they're just like, zoom, zoom, zoom. And you're just sitting there just going, oh my God, just watching this makes me tired.
Yeah.
You're just, I wish I could stick a syringe in them and like take out some of that adrenaline and stick it in me. That would be great. But that's what the coffee's for in the vitamin B shots. So there you go. The 5-hour energy shots. So what's the newest products, especially for cats? It's small animal dogs.
I'm really excited for it over the last couple of years. We entered the market with a compact range of cat products and probably 10 items. And what was the new at the time now has exploded both for us and for, the competition is a liquid snack. It's a little sachet, a little tube, if you will, of a liquid snack that you can, squeeze out either on top of the cat's food, or most people use it just as a handheld treat.
Oh, wow.
Cats can be kind of a loop, right? This is a great way for 30 seconds or a minute or however long you want to drag it out to really be close and involved with your pets.
That's awesome.
Stuff is just so highly palatable, They just, at home, they just come running when I go to the cupboard.
Oh, really? They hear the cover open and off they go. That is the funny thing about cats. They're so bloody aloof, and they're just kind of like, yeah, we don't have time for you right now. It's like they hate you half the time and they like you the other half of the time.
Right. Well, I think for us, what's really the cool thing is the treat products that we do. Our parent company in Germany that's found the secret sauce, if you will,
Oh, wow.
5% of cats the minimum palatability on our products at 85%, cats who go crazy for. So, cats, that's pretty outstanding. And, it just gives people a chance to bond with their pet in multiple ways. Whether it's the meat sticks, the purr sticks that we do, whether it's, we also do like a gel snack. So it's just all different ways to help people bond with their pets, whether it's cat, dog, or bird.
Yeah, my dogs are addicted to dog treats. Like every time I get up and go in the kitchen to, refill water or coffee or, eat some in the fridge, they come to me and they're like, hey, it's time to get some treats. In fact, when they wake up in the morning and I go to make my coffee, they know that the first reward's treats. So they start bugging me usually in the morning. They're like, hey, we want some treats. Get up, eh? And I'm like, no, I'm trying to sleep. Yeah. And, but yeah, they know that anytime I'm in the kitchen, there's a chance of getting treats. So they always come in from outside and they're just like waiting there like, you better have some treats. You better pay up, buddy, or else things are going to get ugly. We might shiv you or, we only keep you around for the treats at this point. I think that's pretty much their attitude.
You mentioned you said hot dog.
I don't give them hot dog treats. Just whatever we buy off the counter at the thing.
Okay. I was going to say one of the things that we've seen over the last, probably 8 years or so, it's just the humanization of petting, right? And both striding, both the development of treats, like being flour to it, right? Pumpkin, turkey pumpkin meat sticks, right?
Yeah.
Years of feeling humans, or flowers will eat just about anything, right? You know that. But you only have to appeal to human senses first.
Definitely. Yeah, they're huskies. They'll eat just about anything, really. So what's next for the company in way of the products and growth? What are you guys working on, and what's your vision for?
Yeah, well, the pet industry thrives on new product and product development. So despite the current economic environment, we are seeing people not so free, spending so freely.
Mhm.
So we're focused on creating products that give great value to consumers. Whether it still has to be a high quality product, but we're looking at ways, whether it's taking costs out of packaging, seeing what we can do supply chain wise, to drive costs out more aggressively now. So developing new products that meet the needs of the consumers, but with a very clear lens focused on cost.
There you go. I mean, you guys have around the world 2,000 employees and sell around 1.2 million high quality Vitakraft products every single day.
Every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
we have about 15 divisions throughout, or sales companies throughout the world. 3 of which are like Voss, that's both manufacturing and sales. So we move a lot of product. It's real fun to be part of an organization like this that was founded in 1837, right?
wow.
Whatever, 178 years ago. And, up until a few years ago, family owned it. Today it's still family owned. And I meet with the owner a couple times a year. And it's amazing how passionate he is about what this is. Being this factory, it's like, here, taste this. And it's like, it's kind of, I have a vocal block with that, but I do it. It actually tastes pretty good.
There you go. I suppose that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I like my dog's food that I get for him and their treats and stuff, but I'm not really that interested in tasting it. So that's always good. Tell us about your role with the American Pet Products Association Board that you've been on for 20 years. You serve as trustee and president. Talk to us about that and the impact the pets in the classroom program.
Yeah, there are actually two different organizations there. The American Pet Products Association is the leading association for our industry, with about 1,200 member companies. We put on the largest trade show, the international trade show, West, and my involvement there. Actually, I think I was the longest person ever brought on the board, and we looked at anything that could potentially benefit the industry or potentially harm the industry, whether it's legislation, whether it's setting standard products or helping our members, improve the quality or the safety of their product, etc. I was on the board from 1991 till probably 2011. Until it was time to step down and let the rest flood in there. But it's an exciting group. They're doing a lot of good to the industry. We've got a lot of pets as well.
Awesome sauce.
So that then the Pets in the Classroom program is actually a program of Pet Care Trust.
Mm-hmm.
I was a trustee and then president of that organization. And basically we give grants to teachers who are interested in putting a pet in their classroom.
Oh, wow.
And since the conception, probably going back 10 years ago now, we've given over 200,000 grants and believe that we probably impacted somewhere between 10 million kids.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
Who may not have had the experience of bonding with a pet or the real joy of having a pet. And we had great stories from teachers that, especially special needs kids, kids on the options, it's frustrating that, teachers see they're getting all whipped up. Hey, I'll go pet the guinea pig for a while and come back and, teachers use them for stuff like essays, or if you have an aquarium, for science, water quality, ecology lesson. That's both really, really great program. And it's all funded primarily by the pet industry, within the pet industry and association. Well,
that's really good. People develop more. I became a better human being. I was a horrible human being before I got dogs. And you learn a lot about yourself and being empathetic and caring about others. And I don't know, they just taught me, especially with their unconditional love, they just taught me to be a better person because, they're just wonderful animals. They love me no matter what I do. If I don't give them treats, they still kind of love me. Although I think they resent me a little bit, but they know they'll get treats later. And and, they come cuddle up with you. Dogs are pretty, I don't know about cats, neural cats, but dogs are pretty intuitive where, if you're hurting, if you're upset about something, you're bothered, they'll come up and be like, hey, how's it going? If you pet me, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
And,
their head on your lap.
Yeah. They definitely have a way of sensing stuff, and they just improve your life better. It's funny. I always talk to my dogs, and they have like 50,000 names I probably created for them over time. I'm always making up some name. And it occurred to me, I think it was like 10 or 15 years into owning dogs, that my dogs had never talked back. That I was having a one-way conversation the whole time, which probably speaks to my lack of sanity. But one day I was just like, I've been talking to these guys for 15 years and they never reply back. In fact, I'm making up the replies.
Bubble over their head.
Yeah. It would probably just keep saying, give me a treat, stupid. Give me a treat, stupid.
Shut up and give me
Shut up and give me a treat. Leave me alone. You smell bad. Let's see. I understand Vitakraft Sunseed is spearheading a shelter program that supports at-risk shelter cats, making them more adoptable. Now, tell us about that.
Yeah, sort of by happenstance, we met this woman named Voss, who works with shelters and the cat therapist, that's not funny, a cat therapist, and has been using our treat, the liquid snacks in particular, to pick feral cats or cats that possibly were destined for euthanasia and making them adoptable.
Oh, wow.
They're so effective, as far as cats want it over everything else, right? So maybe a cat that's all skittish and hiding in the corner or hisses when anybody gets near it. She's been able to work with them and use these treats to break down those barriers, and put together a curriculum with us or for us, and we're going to take it and hopefully introduce it to shelters throughout the country, and also provide free treats with them so the shelters can use them and make cats adoptable. Probably were going to be adoptable before.
Yeah, that's awesome because, there's a lot of animals that go through abuse. Cats, dogs, they have horrible pre-owners and they get sheltered or raised. And I guess that helps. What you're doing is helping them from being euthanized too, as well.
Yeah, that's the goal. So some are, closed shelters, so they're not going to be euthanized, but, they will kind of exist with the towering in the back of your cage or habitat. I feel pretty good about what we're able to do with this stuff. Molly's a great partner with us, and we look forward to supporting her and supporting the shelters throughout the years to come.
There you go. So you guys are doing some amazing things, and it's great that you guys are giving back to the community. What do you feel has made you successful in business, you personally?
As I said earlier, I love people.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's customers, whether it's employees, even vendors, right? I mean, my personal welfare, if you will, is things are never as good as they seem and never as bad as they seem.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps me even keeled, and I step back. I'm sure you're familiar with your roles owning or managing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about problem solving. Unfortunately, 90% of the time, right? And
yeah.
You can't do that unless your level's down here and you can think through problems, right?
That is true.
So that coupled with my enjoying being around people and always wanting to get out, go to trade shows, meet with customers, the social aspect of it's really helped me personally. So I'm not the smartest guy, but being able to make those connections and networks is what we make.
There you go. I like that advice. Note to self, start liking people and stop hating people. Start liking. Did I get that right?
People watch your podcast for brilliant insights like that.
They do. But no, actually, what I really like is your mantra of things are never as bad as they seem and things are never as good as they seem. Did you say?
Yeah.
Is that right? I need a shirt like that. Because I need that in the moments of darkness when it seems bad. I need something that, a little light that goes on that goes, hey, things are never as bad as they seem. Because they never are. You usually overplay how bad it is and it seems, and then when it's all over, you look back on it and you go, well, that wasn't, we got through that.
Could have been way worse.
Yeah. And then things are never as good as they seem. I suppose that's true. I really like it when things are good, but
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If you go over the top and get overly excited about something, it probably wasn't that great. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but you probably overreacted to that foods.
That's true. And there's probably, I've noticed whenever something is going really good and everything's great, sometimes there are cracks in the foundation of something, where you're like, we better make sure that this train's, everything's going good, but make sure we do maintenance to make sure that, everything keeps going good.
In all honesty, the last 2 years with the pet industry, 20 and 21, it was just crazy, right? Sales were skyrocketing, people were buying more pets, and all the time trying to figure out the supply chain and get product in. We can almost see go up. Now, it's softening a little bit. Like you said, looking for those cracks, what are the opportunities? Well, I mentioned earlier, how can we tighten the supply chain, costs out, et cetera? And frankly, we should have been more aggressive back when times were really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or don't think like that.
Yep. It's funny how it works, but you do what you do. But I do love that mantra. I wrote the mantra down so that I can remember that because, especially in bad times, man, it's things are never as bad as they seem. Like there are times when it seems like it's the end of the world and, you kind of have to step back a second and go, okay, let's get some perspective. And it makes it easier to manage if you can step back a bit and get some perspective and go, okay, so where are we at really? I mean, like, the world's really not over, so there you go. So anything more you want to touch on about the business and tell us where people can find the products?
We're available at all major retailers, Echo, PetSmart, Flash Plus, at Supermarket, Petland. We also keep private labels for other mass retailers. Our mainly branded product we build on the shelf at Walmart as well as our cat treats. So we're widely distributed. Of course, Amazon, Chewy. So people are interested in our product. They certainly have no problem with it.
I love Chewy, man. Those guys deliver so freaking fast.
It's amazing.
And they're so good to work with. I mean, Amazon's pretty good too on the fast, but sometimes the pricing is just better over there on Chewy. And then the delivery is like always, like even if you order slow delivery, they get it to you faster.
Right. It's the personal cost. So they're really sort of a hybrid, from my perspective, a hybrid of pet specialty and a pure online play, right? And they invested a lot in their people, their customer care people. And, if we put a product in there, they're very in-depth, so they know all the ins and outs of each of the benefits of the products. So when they get a call on questioning it, they can answer it. If they can't, they have a line right to us and get the answer to the consumer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it's good to know, and it's been great to have you on the show. Thank you very much for coming on. We certainly appreciate it, Brent.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I hope your listeners found it interesting.
Definitely. And since 75% of them, what was it, have pets now?
Yeah, about 70%.
70% have pets. Definitely go order up your products. You can find them wherever great products are sold. Give us the .com so people can find it, Brent, on the interwebs.
Yep, it's Vitakraft.com. Well, take you to the site where you can see both the brands, or you can go to Vitakraft.com.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And everyone, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys being here. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. See the big LinkedIn newsletter and the big LinkedIn group as well. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time.
Well, I do have